Love is a deeply emotional and psychological journey, and women often experience it in a way that combines both feelings and thought. Unlike quick infatuation, the process of falling in love for women is layered. It develops gradually through trust, connection, comfort, admiration, and emotional safety. Each stage builds on the other until feelings become strong enough to be considered love. Understanding these stages doesn't mean reducing love to a formula, but it helps us realize that women value emotional depth, genuine care, and consistency more than shallow gestures. To truly connect with a woman's heart, one must respect her individuality, honor her emotions, and recognize the subtle ways she expresses affection, while slowly allowing herself to feel it. Now let's explore step by step how women fall in love, beginning with the very first phase, emotional connection. Point 1. Emotional connection. For most women, love begins with an emotional bond rather than physical attraction. While appearance may spark initial curiosity, it's the way a man makes her feel that truly determines whether her heart begins to open. Emotional connection is built through attentive listening, understanding her thoughts, validating her feelings, and showing genuine empathy. When a woman senses that she is understood without judgment, she feels safe. The next makes her feel uncertain, which prevents her emotions from deepening. But someone who steadily communicates, remembers small details about her life, and shows kindness, even in small actions, gradually proves himself trustworthy. That reliability fosters intimacy, and intimacy is the soil in which love begins to grow. Think about it. Women are naturally empathetic beings. They understand emotions on a deep level. When they meet someone who mirrors that ability, not necessarily being overly emotional, but emotionally aware, they feel a bond that's rare and special. Over time, this bond transforms into admiration and affection. It's the reason why many women say, "He makes me feel like I can be myself around him." That feeling is the seed of love. Another important aspect is emotional attunement. Women notice when someone picks up on their moods without them having to explain. For instance, if she is quieter than usual and he gently asks, "Something on your mind?" instead of ignoring it, she feels understood. This small sensitivity shows emotional intelligence, and women often fall for that quality more deeply than for external charm. Lastly, emotional connection often goes hand in hand with shared vulnerability. When a man is willing to open up about his struggles, fears, or past without trying to appear perfect, a woman feels closer to him. She sees his humanity, and in that humanity, she feels safe to share her own truth. That shared honesty builds an invisible bridge that strengthens the love process. In short, the emotional connection is not about dramatic gestures, but about consistent care, empathy, and attentiveness. It's about making her feel seen, heard, and valued for who she truly is. Once this connection is established, her heart begins to lean toward love, slowly, steadily, and deeply. Point 2. Trust and safety. Once the emotional connection begins, the next essential element that allows a woman to truly fall in love is trust. Trust is more than believing someone won't lie or cheat. It's the assurance that her heart, thoughts, and vulnerabilities are safe in his presence. For a woman, love doesn't blossom in an environment of fear or uncertainty. It thrives where she feels protected, respected, and free from judgment. When she notices that a man keeps his word, no matter how small the promise, her trust in him grows. Even seemingly insignificant actions, like showing up on time, or remembering something she casually mentioned, send a message. You matter to me. Over time, these small but consistent actions build a powerful sense of reliability. Women fall in love not with perfect men, but with men whose words align with their actions. Safety also includes how a man handles conflict. If he can disagree without humiliating her, if he listens without turning argue into battles, she begins to believe her emotions are safe in his presence. Many women withdraw from relationships where they feel belittled or dismissed during disagreements. On the other hand, when she sees that her feelings will not be ridiculed, even when she's upset, she leans deeper into the relationship emotionally. Another layer of trust is emotional loyalty. Women are quick to notice if a man flirts with others carelessly or gives divided attention. Such actions weaken her trust, even if he claims to be loyal. Love requires emotional exclusivity, making her feel like she is the chosen one, the priority, not just another option. A woman also feels safe when a man respects her boundaries, whether physical, emotional, or mental. If she says she needs space and he gives it without sulking or manipulation, she feels honored. This respect builds comfort, and in that comfort, love takes root. She begins to think, if he respects me now, he will respect me in the future. Point 3. Admiration and respect. Admiration is a powerful step in how women fall in love. A woman may feel emotionally connected and trust someone, but when she begins to admire his qualities, his character, his work ethic, his intelligence, his kindness, that admiration transforms her affection into something deeper. Contrary to popular belief, women don't fall in love simply because of material wealth or flashy charm. What truly captures them is respect-worthy behavior. A man who treats others with fairness, stands firm in his values, and carries himself with dignity earns a kind of admiration that makes a woman proud to be associated with him. When she respects him, she naturally desires to invest emotionally in him. Women also value competence. This doesn't mean being the richest or most powerful, but showing skill, passion, and drive in something meaningful. Whether he's committed to his career, his studies, his art, or even his family, that sense of responsibility is magnetic. She sees a man who is dependable and dedicated, and that dedication draws her in. Equally important is how he respects her. If he listens to her ideas without dismissing them, if he treats her ambitions with seriousness, she feels valued. Respect is not about opening doors or paying bills. It's about recognizing her as an equal human being, worthy of dignity and partnership. A woman may be attracted to charm, but she falls in love with respect. This admiration creates a cycle. The more she admires him, the more she invests emotionally. And the more she invests, the more she falls in love. Point 4. Shared experiences and memories. Love does not grow in isolation. It thrives in shared moments. For women, creating memories together often accelerates the journey, from liking someone to loving them. Whether it's simple things like late-night conversations, walks in the park, or supporting each other during challenges, these shared experiences become the emotional glue that binds them together. When she laughs with him until her stomach hurts, when she remembers the way he supported her during a stressful time, or when they celebrate small victories together, her heart stores those moments as emotional treasures. Over time, these treasures build a narrative. My life is happier, fuller, and more meaningful with him in it. Women also associate strong emotions with memories. For instance, a fun adventure or even overcoming a challenge together becomes a symbolic reminder of partnership. She begins to feel that he is not just someone she enjoys spending time with, but someone she cannot imagine life without. Another subtle aspect is rituals. It could be as simple as a daily good morning message, watching a favorite show together, or celebrating little traditions. These repeated shared actions deepen her emotional bond and make her feel more secure in the relationship. In short, shared experiences aren't just events, they are emotional anchors. The more meaningful memories she shares with someone, the deeper she falls in love. Point 5. Emotional intimacy and vulnerability. Finally, one of the most defining stages in how women fall in love is when she feels safe enough to show her most vulnerable self, and he accepts her with kindness. Emotional intimacy goes beyond conversations. It's about revealing fears, insecurities, and hidden dreams without fear of rejection. When she shares her childhood memories, her deepest fears, or her wildest ambitions, she is testing whether her heart will be safe. If he responds with empathy instead of judgment, with encouragement instead of criticism, she feels seen in her entirety. That feeling of being fully accepted often marks the moment when liking shifts into loving. Equally important is his willingness to be vulnerable. When a man admits he is not perfect, that he has flaws or struggles, she feels closer to him. She realizes love is not about perfection. It's about humanity and acceptance. This shared vulnerability creates a deep, almost unbreakable bond. This stage of emotional intimacy is what makes women love not just with their minds, but with their souls. It's the ultimate bridge from affection to love. In the journey of how women fall in love, 5 essential elements play a role. Emotional connection, trust and safety, admiration and respect, shared experiences, and emotional intimacy. Love for women is not a sudden spark. It is a steady flame nurtured over time. It grows when she feels valued, respected, supported, and emotionally safe. Understanding this process reminds us that love isn't about grand gestures or instant attraction. It's about patience, consistency, and genuine care. When a man provides these foundations, a bond that is resilient and lasting.